Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I've been so excited to film this video ever since I started making book videos. So today I'm going to be filming every book that I read in 2022. Granted, it is, let me check the date. It is December 19th, so we are like halfway through December, sort of. So I definitely plan on reading quite a few more books for the rest of this year. So I'm going to talk about all the books I've read thus far, and then once I'm done with that, we'll cut to me probably on December 30th and we'll finish wrapping it up. I just wanted to film this because I'm going out of town and obviously did not want to take all of the books that I read this year. Also, I'm not going to be going super in depth about these books. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm pretty much going to tell you my rating and my general thoughts. If I thought a book was amazing, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about it, but yeah, I'm planning on just kind of doing the ratings and my general quick thoughts. So not really in a synopsis for the most part. I wanted to give a little rundown of how I rate my books. So I know some people rate like DNFs as a 1-star. If I DNF a book, I just don't rate it at all. So I don't have any 1 stars. That would probably be though like a book that I read, but I just hated every second of it, but I finished it. 2 stars would be kind of a similar vibe. I just didn't like it. I was waiting for it to be over. Didn't really care about the characters or what was going on, but I finished it and maybe there was 1 or 2 things that I enjoyed about it. 3 stars is still like I liked it. It wasn't super memorable, wasn't amazing. Nothing really stood out to me. 4 stars would be I really enjoyed it, but maybe there was a couple of things that I was like, I don't really like this about the book, but still really enjoyed it. 5 star is obsessed, loved it, amazing, incredible, loved pretty much every second of the book. And then I have what I would call like a 6 star, and those are my favorite books of all time. I still rate them 5 star, but in my brain I know that they are god tier. I will never stop talking about these books. That is my rating system. I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I know everyone kind of like rates books a little bit differently, but pretty much anything like 3.5 and above was pretty like decent or really good. Let's go ahead and jump into it. The first book that I picked up was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is a sci-fi novel and I don't know what compelled me to read this. This is like very kind of out of my comfort zone, but I loved it. There's a movie adaptation, so I did watch the movie and I gave the book a 4.5 stars. I really like this, and if you guys have any books that are similar to this type of vibe, please comment down below because I have yet to read another book really similar to this and I really enjoyed it. Next we have The Spanish Love Deception. This was such a popular book. I was so excited to read this and it kind of let me down, honestly. I gave this a 3.5 stars. It wasn't a bad book per se. It's a romance if you couldn't tell, but yes, and it's by Alana Armis. I need to say the authors too. It wasn't a bad book. I just felt like it was kind of boring, sort of. I wasn't really obsessed with either of the characters, which is surprising because I heard nothing but amazing things about Aaron Blackford, but I enjoyed it, but I don't know. It was just kind of average and meh for me. Yeah. Then I picked up Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I gave this a 4.75. I really liked it. It was so close to being a 5 star, but I just couldn't get there with it. It was not giving me the 5-star feels. A romance, but with a deeper background to it. I'm trying to think of the tropes in this. I think this is like small town type of vibes, and yeah. This was, I think this came out this year, so 4.75. Really like this one. Then I read Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. My boyfriend actually picked this one out for me for my birthday, which I thought was so cute. He like went and read the backs of all the books at Target and then picked one out that he thought I would like. This is a romance. I gave this 3.5. The only thing I didn't really like about this was I felt like it was very insta-love, and there were just some things about the characters that I didn't really like. Like, for instance, our main character, she's a vegetarian or she's vegan or something, and our male love interest is not vegetarian or vegan or whatever, and I just felt like she was trying to force him to be vegetarian and like really put that on him, and it was just bizarre. I didn't really like that. And then she also had a dog that was really misbehaved, and that's like a pet peeve of mine. And she just kept being like, oh, whatever, like the dog, haha, whatever. Meanwhile, he's literally like destroying other people's property and stuff, and she's just like, oh, it's just how he is, he's cute. And I'm like, no, literally train your dog. So I know that's like very specific things about this book, but I just remember that was why I did not rate it higher. However, I was just intrigued to see what happened in the book. Like, it was kind of one of those things where like what was happening was really interesting. So yeah, 3.5 stars. Then I read Birthday Girl on my Kindle by, who is Birthday Girl by? Penelope Douglas, I think. I really like this one. I gave it 4 stars. If you watched my most recent book haul, in there I talked about how I love drama and mess in books, and I felt like that's what that book was. It was just drama, mess, messy situations, and I really enjoyed it. Then I picked up All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I gave this 5 stars. This, for a while, was one of my like favorite books of all time. It might still be. I need to maybe do a reread and see if my opinions changed, but I love this book. So many people say that this book is boring, but I adored it. So this one is like, you see the past and then you also see the present. And the thing that I loved about this was, first of all, I just love like marriage and trouble trope in books, I noticed. And I loved seeing, well, I didn't love, it was heartbreaking, but I enjoyed seeing the past and the love that they shared. And then you fast forward to the future and it's like they're struggling, things aren't going well. I just loved seeing that. It felt so real and realistic to what a lot of couples probably go through. Love this. 5 stars. Highly recommend. Then I read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher on Kindle Unlimited, and I really like this one. Again, I was kind of on a roll here. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was just getting like quite a few books that I was really enjoying at the time. I gave The Fine Print 4.5 stars. I loved it. I am from Florida. Also, everyone says that The Fine Print is like modeled, or it's basically like Disneyland. I'm pretty sure it's Disney World. Like in the book, it's literally set in Florida, and just some of the things that they mention, I'm like, this is definitely Disney World, not Disneyland, but that's besides the point. I just thought this was fun. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed their chemistry. I enjoyed it. I really have nothing else to say besides that. It was a fun, good time. Then I picked up The Silent Patient by Alex, is it Michaelides? Another 5-star read. I enjoyed this. I was like eating this up. I was tearing through it. This is a thriller. I don't know what else to say about it besides 5 stars. I really, really love this one. I picked up Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is one of my favorite books of all time. Like, this is a 6-star book. It is a LGBTQ romance. So that romance is between the president's son and a prince. And I just, oh my God, I loved this book. I cried. I cannot say enough good things about this. And this was just, it was so fun. That's the thing that I loved about it. It was so fun. The scenes that we got to see, I felt every ounce of chemistry between the characters. Phenomenal. Obsessed. I actually want to get my hands on the special edition cover because there's like really cute little photos in the front and back of the book. Read this. If you've not read this, please. I'm obsessed. Love it. Then I picked up The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 2nd book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. Yeah, a mystery. A YA mystery. I gave this one a 4 stars, and I was really sad about it because I was obsessed with the Inheritance Games. I literally blazed through that book. I loved it so much. And then I think I just read this at a bad time. I was just like kind of sporadically reading it. I was really busy with school. I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. And I really struggled to remember who was who and how they related to each other. Like, I literally had to draw a family tree to try to understand, and I was still confused. Nevertheless, I am going to pick up The Final Gambit. I have it back there on my shelves, and I'm hoping that I really enjoy that one. Regardless, 4 stars, and I'm hoping that I really love the final book in the series. Next, we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I gave this 4.5 stars. I really loved it. I feel like there was so much almost controversy around this book. Like, I saw some people DNF it. Some people were like, oh my God, this book is incredible. I loved it. It's a romance. I just love this so much. I will say that in the beginning, whenever our male love interest is introduced, I was envisioning him as an old man. And so I just that kind of threw me off a little bit, but outside of that, enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And a lot of people said it focused too much like on the sister dynamic. I didn't care. I liked it. 4.5 stars, and I'm really excited to pick up other books by Emily Henry. Then I picked up Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I had seen this book so many times at the store. I hadn't heard anyone talk about it, but it was just calling my name, and I was correct to answer because I gave this 4.75 stars. I actually rated it 5 stars when I first read it, and then now I really cannot tell you a single thing that happened in this book. I don't really remember. Okay, I can't, that would be a spoiler. So it's a thriller, and basically we have a girl, she disappears, and then flash forward to 10 years later, and the mom thinks that she sees a girl that really looks like her daughter. Yeah, honestly, this was just so good. So good. I haven't read anything really like this. If you can't tell, I read a lot of romance, so I love tossing a thriller in there to kind of mix it up, and I really enjoyed this one. Then I started the Addicted series, so I have the first book in that series, which is Addicted to You by Krista Becca Ritchie. It's about Lily and Lo, and we follow their addictions and their lives and all of that, and I gave this one 4 stars. I really actually enjoyed this, and I don't know what else to say about it. 4 stars. I don't know. This is okay. Then I picked up A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that when I picked this book up I was gonna be so obsessed with this series. Oh my goodness. I loved every second of this. I didn't give it 5 stars. I don't know why. I gave it 4.5, but after reading the series, I feel like this would be a 5-star read just because I love the whole series so much. I haven't read the last book, but thus far, I've loved every book to death. It is a fantasy romance. I think this one started as a YA fantasy romance and then slowly went into being an adult fantasy romance, but I don't need to say anything else about this. You guys know about this book. Read it. Please, please, please read it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I will sit here all day talking about it. Then I kind of wanted to pick up some summer books since I read this. I think this was my first book of July. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. This is the first book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. It's a YA romance set at the beach. I really, really love the setting of this. I gave this 4 stars. I didn't finish the series. I have the series on my shelf, but summer was getting away from me, and yeah, so I think this was like actually the only summer book I read this year, but I really enjoyed it. I love the setting, being at the beach, at their beach house. Super fun, and I definitely will be picking up the rest of the books probably next summer. Can we just... A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. This is another 6-star read for me. This is probably my favorite book of all time. I ate this book up like I've never ate another book up in my life. Did I say this is the second book in the ACOTAR series? I don't even think I can talk about this because I just loved it so much. Oh, this was also my first book I ever tabbed. I started tabbing like towards the end. You can see once I realized how much I was starting to love it. I'm actually scared that no book is gonna top this for me. Like, the way that this series makes me feel is actually indescribable. Next we have Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This is the first book in the Twisted series, and honestly, after reading A Court of Mist and Fury, I was like terrified to pick up another book because I just felt like nothing was gonna top it. I just knew nothing was gonna top it. And so I picked this one up and I gave this 3 stars. I just didn't like it, guys, to be honest. I felt like the timing of the story was just all over the place and I just couldn't really follow what was going on. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the story. To be honest, the only reason that I really want to read this series is because I love the Twisted Lies cover. And I think the books in general are just so pretty, but I don't know if the series is gonna be for me, guys, honestly. Then moving into August, I picked up Every Last Secret by, I think it's A.R. Tor. I read that one on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited. That one is a domestic thriller. I love domestic thrillers. That's like all I used to read before I really got into Book Talk, BookTube, and everything. I gave that one 3.75 stars. I really enjoyed it, honestly. Like, I think I read it super quick and I was entertained the entire time. It just didn't completely blow me out of the water. And I think that I guessed kind of like the twist in it, or like I just had a hunch. Like, I felt like I always knew what was gonna happen. So if you're looking for a domestic thriller, I would still recommend that one, and it was really fun. And kind of continuing my Kindle Unlimited reading, I picked up Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is a YA romance, a high school romance, and I gave that one 4 stars. I really liked it. It was so fun. What I loved about this book specifically was that I felt like I was feeling everything the main character felt. It reminded me so much of what it felt like to be in high school, have a crush on someone, and just all those little butterfly feelings and everything that comes with being in high school and dealing with romance and love and everything. So this one was just so fun. Just an overall really good time. 4 stars. Then I picked up No Exit by Taylor Adams. I got this one from my library. Again, I really like this one. Another thriller. This one, I felt like just so much was happening. It was like every page, it was something new, something being thrown at you. I was like on the edge of my seat. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like, freaking out. Actually really good. I only gave this one, looking at my Notion list, I gave this 4 stars, but I really liked it. I remember really enjoying it, and I felt like it was really well done, and I was very shocked throughout the book with all the different plot twists. So actually, I really highly recommend that one. Then to finish off August, I read The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Another 4-star read for me. I really like this one. Honestly, I was in the mood for just a fun, lighthearted romance, and I felt like this was what I felt like this is what that was. Another super popular one. I remember a lot of people said that like halfway through the book or whatever, the whole plot changes, and I don't remember what it changed to. Like, I don't remember really anything about it besides them on the vacation, but I remember not being bothered because I had heard so many negative things about it that I was like, oh no, once I get to it, like, I'm enjoying the first half so much, then when I get to that point, I'm not gonna like the book anymore. But I liked it. Really fun time. Then I read Terms and Conditions on Kindle Unlimited. Again, this is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaires series, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. Again, I think that's the same rating I gave The Fine Print. And just a good fun time. I love the characters. I love their chemistry. I'm very excited for the 3rd book to come out. Hopefully I love that one just as much, if not more. And then in September, I also listened to I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I listened to that one on, I think, Scribd. I listened to it as an audiobook, and I really enjoyed this one. I didn't rate it just because I feel bizarre rating someone's like life story, but I thought it was very interesting to hear about, very heartbreaking, and as someone who grew up watching iCarly, I thought it was interesting to see the behind the scenes of that and just the behind the scenes of child actors and kind of how that is so different from just growing up as a normal child. So I highly recommend that one. It was really good. Going into October, I picked up A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is a 3rd book in the ACOTAR series. Another 5-star read. I heard that after A Court of Mist and Fury, like these books, like the whole series, it was just bad from there. I could not disagree more. I loved this book. This is like up there with A Court of Mist and Fury too. This one does focus more on politics and stuff, but I didn't care. I loved it. Literally, like, I'm so attached to these characters. They are just talking to each other and I was crying. So 5-star read. Honestly, this is probably another 6-star read for me. So freaking good. And then I was so just in love with the ACOTAR series at the time. I went ahead and read A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the novella. Again, I heard that this was so boring and mundane. I liked it. Was it amazing and like intriguing? You know, I wasn't on the edge of my seat or anything. Nothing was really going on that was like, oh my God. But if you love the characters in this series, this is just basically seeing them be them. It kind of bridges you to A Court of Silver Flames. And some people I've heard say that they skipped over this, that you don't need to read it. I love this series so much that I will take anything Sarah J. Maas gives us relating to these characters. So yeah, I gave this one, let me see, 3.75 stars. Really liked it. That's all. So I picked up It Happened One Summer. This is actually kind of funny because I picked this up this is my first read of November, which is like the fall time. I don't know why I wanted to read a summer book, but I did. I gave this 4 stars. I loved this and I'm so excited to pick up the second book, Hook, Line, and Sinker. This was just fun, a good time, loved the characters, loved the setting. 4 stars. Okay, I totally forgot to mention this, but I only have 2 DNFs for this year, so I'm just gonna toss them in here. I picked up Crease by Sierra Simone. I just didn't care for that one. I was just like, meh, I don't know if this is for me. So, I don't know. That might be one that I pick up in the future. I was interested, but I just didn't feel any kind of connection between the characters. So, I did put that one down for now. Maybe we'll go back to it. Who knows? Then continuing on with the Addicted series, I read Ricochet. I gave this one 4 stars. Really, really liked it. I liked this one more than the first one actually, and I was so scared that this was going to be focused on only one character and we weren't going to get to see our 2 main characters together. I don't really want to like talk about it because it's a series, so I don't want like any kind of spoilers or anything by accident, but I love that we still got to see moments of those 2 characters together. 4 stars. Enjoyed it. And then I think while I was reading these books, I also listened to Stuck With You, just kind of in there randomly. I think I started this like in September and then I ended up finishing it on a drive when we were in Arizona. I was just bored and like I can't use my phone in the car because I'll get car sick. So I listened to that audiobook that's by Ali Hazelwood. It is part of the Steminus novellas. And that one was pretty average. I feel like with novellas, it's just hard to have like a really good story and feel really connected to the characters. But I gave that one 3 stars. Like I said, it was just kind of meh, nothing too special. And also, I just don't think I'm an audiobook girly. I think I need to read books physically to really get into the story, so I don't know if that had any effect on my rating, but yeah. 3 stars. Then I picked up the Shatter Me series. This is the first book in the series by Tahereh Mafi. I'm really enjoying this one, guys. I am eating this up. Again, it's a YA dystopian novel. I gave this 4 stars. I really liked it. The one thing that kind of threw me for a loop was I was expecting something to happen pretty much the whole book, and then it didn't. And then I was reading and out of nowhere the book just ended. Like I didn't even realize I was reading the epilogue, and it was like on the same timeline as before the epilogue. So I was just like, the book is ending, like what? I'm confused. But nevertheless, I really liked it. 4 stars. And then immediately after that, I had the Destroy Me novella. It's in the back of this one, and I read that directly after, and I love that one even more. I gave that 4.5 stars. I adored seeing the perspective that we get in that book, and it just made me even more excited to go into the series. I actually desperately wanted to pick up the next book, but I didn't have any way to get it at the time, so yeah, I had to wait. But I'm really, really, really liking this so far. Did I say what I gave? Yeah, 4.5 stars for Destroy Me. Then I picked up Addicted for Now by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. This is the 3rd book in the Addicted series, and this one was just very meh for me. I think I have it written down as a 4.5 stars, but I think it's more like 3.75. I wasn't obsessed with it. I liked the characters. Like I really liked the characters in this series, so I enjoyed seeing them, but there was just some things where I was like, I'm just like, I'm not really caring. And then like kind of our main plot line that gets introduced in the beginning, I just didn't care about that for so long into the book. And then once it kind of like wrapped up, I was like, okay, good, because I'm just not super interested in this. The one thing that I really loved about this book was seeing Lo and his dad's relationship. I am so fascinated by that. I think it's so interesting, and I cannot wait to see how that progresses throughout the series. So honestly, that was like the main reason I gave this 4 stars, but I think it's maybe 3.75. Then I picked up Unravel Me. This is the 2nd book in the Shatter Me series. I, again, obsessed, loved it. I could honestly probably just read this series back to back to back, which is very unusual for me. Usually I like to break series up, but I'm just so like, I need to know what is happening. So I gave this one 5 stars, which I'm like, 5 stars, was it really? I don't know. Now I'm thinking like 4.75. I think I'm gonna do 4.75. 5 stars feels a bit much, but I did love it. I loved it so much. I just don't know if it's a 5-star read. I don't know. Regardless, we'll say 4.75 stars. I just love this. Love the characters. I loved the plot line. I loved everything that was happening. I love the side characters too. Like, I just love the dynamic between everybody, and the characters feel so distinct to me, and yeah. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I cannot wait to pick up the next books and just like finish the series. I'm so excited to see what happens. And then the last book that I'm gonna be talking about right now is actually a DNF, which I cannot believe that I DNF'd this book, you guys, but I picked up Say You Swear by Megan Brandy on Kindle Unlimited. I went into this book like so certain I was going to love it because it had such a high rating on GoodReads. I think it has like 4.45 or 4.47 or something like that, like so high. I didn't like it. I think I got to like 23% and just couldn't do it anymore. I don't think the writing is for me. Like, the whole beginning of the book was set at a beach house during the summer, and I was not in the mood to read a summer book. It is a college romance, so I think once you get past that, you get to see them at college, but I just couldn't do it. There was one character, I think his name is Brady. The writing for his character, just honestly, and the dialogue, that's what I'm talking about. The dialogue just was very cringy to me. Like, I didn't feel like that's how people actually talk, so that one is a DNF for me. Maybe we'll go back to it one day, but for now I'm putting it down. Also Priest, my other DNF, I think I will go back to it one day, but for now I just put those down. So that is all the books that I have so far. I'm not ending the video. I want to include the final few books that I managed to pick up for the rest of the year. So we're gonna cut to Breann in the future. See you guys soon. Soon for you, not soon for me. Okay, camera battery's gonna die, so we gotta make this speedy, but I DNF Twisted Games. I just could not get into the characters. Let me see what I wrote down in my Notion. Yeah, I said I didn't feel any connection between Reese and I don't even remember the girl's name. And I think I'm gonna come back to it. I just wasn't really in a romance mood at the time, so I feel like I really wanted to read fantasy or just something other than romance, so I could see myself coming back to it. I feel like I really want to give this series a serious chance because, like I said, the books are so pretty that I want to own them, but DNF for now. I don't know if this is going to be for me. Then I picked up Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I read that on Kindle Unlimited and I absolutely adored that. I gave it 4.5 stars. I just loved everything about it. And I also did not guess what was going on. I was really like thrown for a loop, so really, really highly recommend that one. Oh my goodness. And then in the end of the book, when you understand the title of the book, I was just like mind blown, loved it. So, so good. And then the last book that I picked up or that I guess I finished this month was The Housemaid by, who is that by? I don't know. I'll have the picture somewhere. You guys can see it. It's Frida something. It's not really coming to me, but again, another 4.5 stars, another domestic thriller. I just absolutely adore domestic thrillers. Like, I feel like that sounds really unhinged of me, but I just literally cannot get enough of them. Yeah, I just love this book. There's actually a sequel, so I might pick that one up because the way that it ended was kind of interesting, but also I feel like it's gonna take a whole different turn. Like, I feel like with thrillers, once something is revealed and you know, it's not as interesting type of thing, so I don't know how a sequel would work out, but I was just, oh my goodness, I love this book. Highly, highly, highly recommend again. Oh, and then I forgot my camera battery. Like, my camera's gonna die. I'm like talking so fast trying to get through this. I also just want to throw this in here because I forgot to include it, but in June I read Brutal Prince. I read that on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, I gave that one 3.5 stars. Again, I just don't know if that series is going to be for me. I am going to try to pick up some other books in that series, but I wasn't super crazy about that first book. I barely even remember anything that even happened in it. Then I was going to throw in my current read, but I think that's going to be my first book of January because I'm still like, I have 50% of it left, but yeah, I'm not going to put that in here. Okay guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I'm so curious to know what your favorite book of the year was. Like I said, mine was A Court of Mist and Fury, so I really want to know your top book or top 10 or whatever you guys want to comment. I really want to know. So, oh my god, the fireworks. Can we... It's daylight. Why are we lighting fireworks off? I just really... Okay. We're just gonna ignore that because I need to end this video before my camera dies for the literal like 5th time. Feel free to comment down anything below or reads that you guys are looking forward to reading in 2023. But that's gonna be all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.